Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm surprised up until now how much Donald Trump has really exposed himself, and it's quite surprising really. Um, so the man had no idea that he was being recorded during that phone call with Georgia about overturning the election results. And you can pretty much expect him because, number one, this guy's a narcissist, and number two, narcissists are pretty stupid. Because they only think only about themselves and they don't consider, the consequences of their action. And it's all me, me, me. Get me this. Get me that. I want this. And pretty much when you're a narcissist, you're pretty much a stupid person in reality. Unless you were to actually, take control of it. Other than that, you're pretty, you're, I should say, very messed up, to be honest with you. So, let me give you a, um, good review on all of what has happened up to now. Donald J. Trump has lost to Joe Biden by many votes and that stuff. And after he has lost to Joe Biden, he pretty much he's pretty much become much of a sore loser at this point. Like, not refusing to accept the election results. And now he's going on these voter fraud power trips. And it's an actual threat. And Texas has also been in favor with what the president has been doing to try to interfere with the election. And what Texas is doing is they're suing the states that, you know, that they would, Texas is saying that states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Republican states haven't counted the votes right, or haven't followed what the system said, and that's, in the House of the Republicans that you have back in Texas, uh, um, Republicans in Texas, I have to say, are pretty much a bunch of idiots. Because they have no idea what they're doing. All 50 states have done the votes fairly. They counted the votes fairly and that stuff. And you got Trump, on the other hand, that's making the phone call to Georgia and complaining about, the voting machine being replaced with different parts and, making the machines like a corrupted device that, counts the ballots wrong. I don't know exactly. Like, all technology does fail, but I don't think there'd be problems in voting machines. I mean, I know for one, I would not say that or not think that voting machines would have malfunctioning problems or malfunctioning issues. And even if they did, I'm sure people or mechanics, I should say, would actually, fix the problems with the voting machines and get them back up and running and working properly again. It's the same thing as, oh, okay. So let me give you a good example. An amusement park ride that you love so much has broken down. Okay? Now, what do? Do you actually, go and get different parts for it? Oh, different parts that, has to do with, mechanics. They might need new wires. They might need new um it could be they just need new uh engines or whatever it is that keeps it running and that stuff. They wouldn't just take apart the old and putting, like new unnecessary equipment that it would actually need to keep the gears running. That could probably be what it is. Maybe all the gears get, worn out and that stuff, and they need like new gears or new new tubes or new pipes to keep it running. You know, just take it apart and just putting whatever stuff that you think would just be the cheap way to get the thing done, to get the task done. You'd actually take your time, figure out what the problem is, and fix it. But no, I refuse to think that people fix old machines and replace it with something completely new and unnecessary. Like, for one, if you were repairing a roller coaster, you wouldn't just go in there and buy a bunch of computer chips. That won't fix the problem because it's different tech. All right? And honestly, while CPUs are technology, repairing a box would be considered engineering. That might not be a good comparison, but yeah, you wouldn't just go out there and, make something, put something completely new in there that you know is actually going to fail. But yeah, who would believe that that the election results get miscounted by um broken machines? I mean, I haven't heard of machines breaking down with the voting systems. And even if they did, they would get they would actually get fixed right away so they can be back up and running. And so that everything is, up and working properly, that nothing is so like no there's nothing wrong with whatever or with the system itself. And that's the bottom thing here. But, Trump is Trump. He's really stupid and doesn't really accept the, he refuses to recognize the election result and accept it, admit defeat. And I'll tell you, wasn't an idiot who... There is one Republican that I know that hasn't been an idiot since a Democrat had been elected, and that was John McCain. John McCain accepted the election results. He went to Obama's inauguration. He didn't just end up throwing a temper tantrum because he didn't win. No, he was, being a man about it. And that is something Trump cannot do. If you want to get more detailed on Donald J. Trump, then his niece, Mary Trump, is the one to be asking those kind of questions about he's not... His brain is completely wired to... with all these negative thoughts, and he's too into his narcissistic behavior to actually change anything about him. And the one thing Mary Trump has said in an interview, I believe this was CNN, and she said that if Trump thinks that he's going down, he's going to take the rest of us Americans down. Meaning, he will attack the people with Social Security, disabilities. He will attack just about anybody. The people who have jobs, take away, take away our freedom, obviously. And, try to do whatever it can so that when he has a miserable the rest of 2021, so will every single American have that, if that were to ever come down to that. But no. 2021 pretty much has become a terrible start for Donald J. Trump. He had his great 4 years of abusing America and abusing his presidential powers, and just being plain Donald J. Trump. And the racial movements against the congresswoman, that was that was bad. That was something, horribly wrong with Donald J. Trump, because you had a president who was very racial, wanted to said that people should go back to their home country, and there's a bunch of other stuff too, not just that. The attack on Iran, killing the Iranian general Soleimani. That was also bad. And Iran warned the U.S. that if the U.S. were to do something like that again, that they would declare war on us. Now, honestly, that hasn't happened again, but here's the other thing. The last thing that Donald Trump wants to get the U.S. into before he leaves office is war with Iran. Donald Trump wants to destroy the U.S. when he is destroyed on January 20th of being in the Oval Office. He also wants the Secret Service to drag him out of the White House. Well, this was just from the Ring of Fire. And the guy said it's not very likely that that would happen, but being that Donald Trump is stupid enough, I would happen to think that that would happen, but again, you can't be too sure of that. But who knows? Maybe that will end up happening. Let me try to oh, I got a good one. He's got multiple charges that he's going to have to face when he leaves the White House. That's bad on him. Let me name a few that could, ruin his life for good. You've got the you got sexual assault charges for the all the women that he had sexual contact with. You've got tax fraud. And you've got, oh, the voter tampering. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. We were, the U.S. was on high alert for, U.S., or the, Russia, Europe, and China for election meddling. That didn't happen. We were on high alert. So what does Donald Trump do? He decides to just go and do it himself. And he's said to the Georgia Republicans, he says, all right, I need you guys to go out there and find me some 11,000 plus votes. And not more of like it was asking for the Georgia Republicans to do this. It was more of like, a threat, because he was telling the Georgia Republicans that, if you've actually cheated in counting the polls and that stuff, you know how much of a serious crime that is? Like, you could be put in, like, jail for that. Now, obviously, whatever Donald Trump says is not true, so I would not buy that. And the one thing that, really caught me was, the channel on CNN, Anderson Cooper. One of his videos was it was like talking to a child. When the Georgia Republican picked up the phone, it was the narcissist Trump, and he wanted to have a chat with the Georgia Republican, and he basically, made complaints about voter fraud, and he complained about the machines being replaced with different parts, and he also started throwing insults as well. Do the Trump supporters not realize that who we have in the United States for these 4 years, up from 2016 to 2020, do they not realize that we've had a bully that ran the U.S., that was in the U.S. as the U.S. president for at least 4 years? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Some Trump supporters, you're pretty much stupid if you don't even want to look at the reality. Some of the Trump supporters actually started to betray Trump because of how out of control this was getting. And I'm sorry, but you Trump, some of you Trump supporters out there, you were just wanting to support him because he was a Republican and you didn't even care about the situation that was going on here in America. And I have to say, whenever. Well, this is the thing that people need to do. They need to grow up. They need to realize, okay, so there is a serious thing that we need to realize here. The reality that we are in, if it gets worse and that stuff, what's the best thing to do? For most people, deny the fact that we have a, deny the fact that we live in that we're facing a horrible reality right now, and pretend the whole thing doesn't exist, just like COVID-19. Donald Trump said COVID-19 was a hoax, and so most people want to go along with what the president says about COVID-19 and saying, yeah, I've been so sick of COVID-19 for, a very, very long time since, it started back in 2020, so, yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that, COVID-19 doesn't exist anymore. Like, that COVID-19 just went away like magic. Oh, you mean to tell me that the deaths don't say anything? That we still have a virus out here, even though it's 2021? We got we got vaccines that are out for the virus. I would want to be sure to get one right away because I don't want to be dying early. And I don't think anybody else would. That's the thing about people. Some of them don't even bother to just grow up and, accept reality. That is like one of the worst things that you could actually do. Because, let me just say this. If you want to live your life, the rest of your life, as a complete idiot and moron and loser, then I absolutely don't have a problem with that. If that is what you, truly desire, I'm sorry to say all of this and that stuff, but if that's the kind of life that you truly desire and that stuff, totally not my problem. But the thing is, don't say I didn't say anything. Don't even say I told you so. I totally could, like, care less about, uh, the, the, the stupidiousness of other people. That's just me. I don't want anything to do with, you know, uh, drama overall. And the fact that people just don't want to grow up and accept reality. That's, That's the bottom line.
Air hockey.
So,
I don't need to explain. No, but you're going to anyway.
I'm just gonna finish off the topic of Donald Trump being a complete bully to the Georgia Republican. So, the phone call lasted for an hour. It was fully recorded. He had no idea that he was being recorded on the phone. And no, there was no lie detectors used. So, if people wanted to assume there were like lie detectors on there and that stuff, well, as again, that's just coming out of people like you Trump supporters and go by what the rumors were and versus accepting the facts. Totally, again, not my problem. But that's just the way people are. There's a lot of people out there that, they don't want to grow up. They don't know how to act, or think properly. Like, Donald Trump is one of those people. Because he's a narcissist. And not just Donald J. Trump, but there are narcissists out there in the real world. And it's not just Donald J. Trump. You could have some very psychotic fathers out there that are, completely narcissists, and they've had their whole life, around violent families